Hey, how's it going everyone? It is Drigo. We're back with another chapter of Deadrock, chapter 17, AJ and Dest. And the cover page for this chapter is honestly kind of reminiscent of like old Mashima arts, kind of like this kind of grungy style. I remember like old fairy tale covers kind of having this. You have Yakuto with a wine bottle and probably one of the most uncomfortable looking pairs of shoes I've ever seen. It's kind of interesting to get covers like this. We don't really get kind of grimy, kind of underworldy covers that much anymore, and it's just kind of fun that Deadrock's been doing that. The chapter picks up with the tournament that is about to begin, showing the bracket of everyone that was shown in last chapter. And I genuinely really like this opening moment here with Yakuto kind of like, could I kill a friend if I really needed to try and kill God? And it's kind of showing Frey in the background. Without saying any words, Frey just straight up hugs Yakuto in the back, which is obviously very reminiscent of Lucy hugging Natsu, like in the Grand Magic games, the same exact way. And I genuinely really love this moment between the two of them, because she says that her ultimate goal is obviously to kill Luzin. After that, she doesn't really care what happens, and she gets that Yakuto also has a goal, and if killing her gets him to achieve his goal, then she's fine with that. At the same time, you also get AJ and Dest kind of setting up their rivalry and whatnot, that they want to be the ones to kill one another. And you also get some flashbacks later on in this chapter of them like in school and whatnot, and why they're this kind of buddy-buddy duo. Kind of interesting that God probably knows that Yakuto is trying to kill him, because he's talking with Lilith about who he thinks that would win the tournament, and obviously they're kind of betting on Luzin, but Lilith says obviously one of these students here killed the vice principal, which is where you get God remarking that, oh, then he might be after me, and kind of stares at Yakuto, and they kind of have direct eye contact between the two. The first round of this tournament is going to be Yakuto versus Dest. I kind of love this interaction with Makoto and Ryzen, to where he's like, why the heck did your clothes get all ripped up? And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. I got into a battle, but you know, the person that, you know, did this to me, I gave them a good beating myself. And then she just kind of stares over at Boltagar, and he's like, oh crap, she's looking at me, like, what the heck do I do? You do get some more abilities of Lilith, because you find out that she can actually read minds, because Boltagar is kind of acting weird, and they're like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Which is where she figures out that Ghost has made its move, so now you at least have two demon teachers that know about it, and she's like, crap, this is going to be a pain in the butt. So we cut over to the battle between Yakuto and Dest, and Dest's root is Gargoyle, so if he touches him, he'll turn to stone. Kind of a fun power, kind of reminds me obviously of Evergreen in Fairy Tail. And Yakuto is doing a really good job of dodging all of his attacks to just not be turned into stone. There's quite a few pages dedicated to AJ and Dest's backstory, with how they want to like kill each other, how they wanted to get into Deadrock. In Dest's case, you gotta love that they're giving you all this info about their backstory and whatnot, just for Yakuto to like kill him next panel. It isn't just like he slightly kills him. No. He like obliterates half of this guy's body. And still having half a body left was still not enough for Yakuto, because he straight up does another attack. Kind of copying Deku here with him using a smash attack, and just straight up leaves a giant crater into this Coliseum, and there's pretty much zero trace of Dest left. That half got reduced to atoms. And Yakuto is very cold at times. If you're not one of his classmates, oh my goodness, he could be ruthless, because after killing Dest, he goes up to AJ and is like, okay, I'm gonna kill you too, just because you're in my way. He seems pretty reciprocal of this, because you just killed his friend and now he's smiling. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you too, buddy. And the final page of this chapter is finally figuring out what God's weakness is, but you don't really get to figure it out, because the spell is finally broken on the book to be able to read it, but you don't get the answer to that just yet. And with that, it is the end of our chapter, so my thoughts. Would have liked to known what the whole God weakness is. This kind of sucks that you have to wait a month to get that answer now. I do genuinely really like the kind of relationship that Yakuto and Frey have, and how kind of Frey was accepting of her own death to progress Yakuto's, you know, dream to be able to kill God. And Yakuto once again is separating himself from other Mashima main characters, because again, he is quite cold at times, and if you're not one of his classmates, oh my goodness, he's pretty darn ruthless. And to be honest, Dest really did not have much of a chance, because oh my goodness, the power level difference between him and Yakuto was pretty astounding, to where he just literally one-shotted him, and one-shotting was not good enough. He wanted that whole body destroyed. Now, I will say, for me, a lot of this chapter was kind of boring, in the sense of you're giving Dest this like backstory and stuff, like, oh man, you should care for him, and then he's like dead. Probably going to be setting up more for AJ than Dest, because obviously he's dead. But even still, I don't think that backstory is still setting him up to be wildly different. It's just like, oh, they had this rivalry and they wanted to get into Deadrock and kill each other, I guess. I imagine most of the other first rounds are going to be kind of blown by pretty fast, except for Frey's fight against Luzin. I bet you that one's going to probably at least last a full chapter. So what are your guys' thoughts on this chapter? Leave in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Drago signing out.